inspired this skin. This is my skin. This is the Tobias Fate skin. And you know what? It's a cool fucking skin. It's one of my favorites. It's just it sounds so garbage. It doesn't sound like it's powerful. It doesn't sound like it's taking control. There's no force behind his Q. His Q's a little fucking, like, Disney laser gun. Like sequel trilogy Star Wars shit, you know? That's unfortunately what it is. But it looks great. Looks really good. What does your beanie look like? Cat ears? No, it doesn't. I mean, it could look like a scouter, kind of, but, like, again, the way they did this, though... No, this is Kano! This is totally Kano! The way they did the eyepiece is literally Kano's cybernetic eye. It literally is, though. We're not even coping. It's just part of Gangplank's head, which is exactly what it is for Kano.
Slack on my ship.
GPPLS.
Like, this is just so obviously inspired by Tobias Fate. Come on. Clarity, thank you, man. No, this is a cool skin. This is one of my favorites. It looks so badass. It's just, what I love about this skin so much is that it's Gangplank as a piece of shit in space. It's just Gangplank from Bilgewater, except if he was put 50,000 years in the future. Right? Or 40,000 years in the future. He's still a piece of shit. He's still evil. He's still running a crew. Right? He's just doing it at, like, a galactic scale. This guy's got the ability to destroy planets. He goes around vaporizing fucking planets like the Death Star. If you probably don't pay up, you know, but whatever it may be. The skin teaser was so sick. Yep, so badass. Only some people will remember that, though. Only some people. The skin teaser for this, or the teaser for this skin, was Gangplank sitting in his like captain's chair on the command deck, and he was hunched over, and it was very dark room. There was a giant window behind him, I believe, showing a planet, right? And he bent over, crunched an orange in his hand, and then the fucking laser went off in the background and destroyed the planet, right? I think that's what it was, something like that. It was cool. And then the laugh, yeah, and they... that was cool. That was a very metal intro. Rip. Flash me. Let's go. Man, if she took a tower shot there, I would have committed. All right. Now, that was a cool... Dude, I wish League would do that more. See, that's the thing about badass skins. When do we ever get teasers like that for shit like that, you know? When would we ever get that again as a teaser or something? I feel like we wouldn't. Bilgewater has not been eating well lately. We've gotten, like, Misfortune's bunny fucking anime command skin. We've got Fizz as, like, a lo-fi beats character on YouTube. We've got... I think that's it. I think that's basically it for Bilgewater. Oh, yeah, we got Project Gangplank, which is kind of shit. It's still cool that we get stuff like that, but it's not... I don't think it's badass. Dreadnova was badass. Dreadnova's teaser was badass. Battle Queen Misfortune? I don't care about no Misfortune. I like Misfortune because I like Bilgewater, but she's not my favorite character. And I think even if you're a Gangplank, like, enjoyer, you have to kind of feel Misfortune's, like, problem with Gangplank is something that's not, you know, oh, she's just crying, who cares, whatever. It's, like, kind of a real thing that you'd probably get pissed off, like, over, right? Because there's some reason, hey, people don't like Misfortune in lore. Like, but what she stands for is justifiably so. What she did was justifiable. It's not like, oh, I'm a demented, you know, freak mutant opposed to Gangplank's rule and, oh, bring down the tyrant. It's like, okay, that's kind of it, but she overreacted. What? Okay, so if someone walked by, gunned down your parents in cold blood, took their shit, how is that overreacting that you'd want revenge on that? What? Do you just be like, oh, it's okay, he was hungry, I don't know, he needed food. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, it's basically just Batman, but in Bilgewater. Like, you know. Even if you don't like MF, what she kind of stands for is most, like, it's just justifiable. Oh my god, it's not gonna touch him. Bro, what the hell? I could have had 3 assists. Well, I mean, later on, like, did she didn't side with Vigo in the Ruin King. She sided with Vigo in the Ruination. But that was against her will? Did the Ruination event so dog shit. In the Ruin King game, she was not, nobody was for Vigo but Gangplank. But even then, Gangplank was using Vigo as like a tool, a weapon. Not even, okay, I didn't realize he's that strong. He wasn't siding with him because, oh, Vigo's the good guy. Like, Gangplank is second to no man. At least in his mind, right? He wants to be number 1. No dude's gonna take his place. It was the Ruination, yes. That was kind of an icky event. That's not the Ruin King. Well, the Ruination is basically just, I mean, it's a cool thing, but you know, the problem with games that have so many fantastical characters that are all kind of main characters in a way, is you can't kill any of them. That's the problem. You can't kill anybody in a game like League of Legends. Nobody, the only person who came close to dying was Gangplank, and guess what? He only lost his arm. Right? Like, oh, God forbid he dies. I mean, you know what would be cool? You know what would be really cool? If Yone had a release like Gangplank did. And if Yone was alive, somehow, in current timeline, and he wasn't killed by Yasuo, that you could introduce Yone as his brother, and then kind of have him, like, die, and then be disabled, and then brought back as the Revenant, you know? That would have been an interesting concept. Good flash there, buddy. Well, it's not that they didn't think far ahead, it's that they don't want to put money into stuff like that.
Oh, look! A happy little barrel!
Too much money, not enough skins.
Frog, thank you, buddy. You know, it's crazy to think that... Let me ask you this. In all honesty, biases aside, I don't care if you're a viewer of mine and you're pro Bilgewater or whatever. Who had the coolest champ release in League of Legends history? The coolest character release in League history. For me, it's Gangplank. Obviously. Obviously. But, like, the event, everything surrounding it, Jin's was pretty cool. But was there anything important about Jin's? What did Jin have? Was it just music? Wasn't it? Oh, it had the intros of like the weird fucking like dead people fucking. Yeah, all the demonic shit. You're right. They did do a little bit of a story for Jin, where like this dude's just a psychopath. Yep. I remember that. Yeah. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Jinx. Oh, Jinx had the, you're right, Jinx is pretty good too. They had that song. Yeah. True. Yep. Okay, so there was a couple. I feel like they don't do that anymore, right? They don't really care about making these characters have, like, big grand entrances like they once did. Maybe it's because people just don't give a shit about it as much as they used to. Maybe the passion behind it, maybe the idea of putting too much work into something that has no return just isn't worth it. As it probably shouldn't be anyways. It's a game. Gotta make money somehow. Because, let me ask you this. For as great as all of these things are over the years, how many people remember them? How many people remember the events that we'd gone through? Right? How much money went into Bilgewater? How much money went into Star Guardians? How much money went into, like, that Space Crew thing with Jinx and Ziggs and whatnot? How much effort? Just to have it sit in obscurity. Yeah, either old League players or people who have seen, like, YouTube videos. Because it's so cool, but, like, it doesn't need to sit in a, it doesn't need to sit away forever. See, that's what's interesting. So, talking about this, Riot's a business. I'm just gonna talk about Warhammer for a sec as well. Riot is a business. Their #1 job is to produce products that make money. Right? Why aren't we giving us... Why aren't they bringing back things that people love and that people will want to buy? Either for nostalgia or because it's cool. Games Workshop, although dealing in physical products, Games Workshop right now is Warhammer. They're going back 40 years, and they're releasing, like, literally 40... Not 40 years exactly, but let's say, like, 30 years of content. They're re-releasing 30 years, if not a little bit more, of content for sale. Things that you can jump back into, either if you grew up with it, or brand new old things that are new to new people, whatever it may be. Like, that's what Riot, I feel like, should be doing to a degree. Is giving people... giving people things that you made at one point that are done, but just sell them, bring them back. Have people, you know, get into them again. How is Warhammer dead? Are you dumb? Warhammer dead? Warhammer's never been bigger. What? What are you on about? You said Warhammer is dead, but League is on top? What? Did you get them mixed up? Warhammer's not dead. All I'm saying is, hey, you put money, you put time, you put all this work into creating stuff, why not keep it around? Why not do that? Warhammer has no younger fans. Do you know how successful Games Workshop is? Like, who cares about the younger audience when their bills are paid tenfold? When you've got new releases every week that people spend fucking thousands of dollars on? Who cares if your audience isn't for kids? Not everything needs to be for kids. How is League of Legends even for kids to begin with? This game is not inviting to anyone. This is inviting to, like, gamers, not kids. If you want to have kids play your game, go play Fortnite. Go play something that you could just jump in on and have fun. League is a slow burn. Warhammer's a slow burn. I'd even compare getting into League as like getting into fucking Warhammer. This shit's a nightmare sometimes. I don't think League in the slightest is beginner friendly. There's just nothing about it to me that screams, I'm an 8-year-old kid and I want to have fun. This game is too... There's too many phases of this game. There's so many different, like, micromanagings and ability usages. It's just a game that's kind of... I'm not going to say you need to be bright to play it, but you have to put a bit of brain power into thinking about it. So it's just kind of... You know, for the kids of today, yeah, maybe not the best thing. Oh. Why did they lane swap? How the fuck do you put Ahri top lane? Like, what? Like, dude. So garbage, man. Well, it's just a massive time sink, period. Like League of Legends, I feel like with most games, they are time sinks, but League is more of a time sink than most. Because there's so many, again, there's so many different things to this game. As a beginner, you'd probably play maybe 1/100th of the entire game. And be absolute trash. And, you know, it will take probably a year to get good, to know everything. Holy shit, dude. The champ is brain dead. What the fuck? Unfortunate Xin Zhao mechanics. I feel like, do you think in any capacity League is bringing in new players? The lore is unreasonably hard to get into? Not really. And I mean, that's the culmination of so many years of writing. That's not its problem. Like, you could say, oh, Warhammer is so complicated because there's so many things going on. Well, that's just because it's been going on for ages. Like, Warhammer's been around for longer than I've been alive, and I'm like 30. Right? So when you've got that many years of content, like, you know, it's gonna be a bit expansive, for sure. It attracts a ton, but lose 80% within a few... I feel like League is more of a game that's probably fun to watch, but not fun to play. Right? Press 1 if you agree. Yeah. I mean, some people do enjoy playing League. I like playing League. It could be a 50-50. You enjoy it and you like playing it. But I feel like more often than not, people want to watch League, people don't want to play League. Well, StarCraft died out not because the game sucked, but because RTSs stopped being popular. Right? Name me one mainstream real-time strategy game. Because the only one I can think about, off the top of my head, is probably Total War. Total War Warhammer. Like, that's a pretty big game. Like, Age of Empires. Maybe the new Age of Empires coming out, or, like, whatever it may be. But that's still not as big as it once was. Nobody plays those games anymore. And that's just the shift of players. Like, the gamers of today don't want to sit around and think. They don't want to wait. They don't want this stuff. It's too much to think about. It's all micromanaging. It's focusing. It's just a chore compared to what they could be doing. For me, I grew up on RTS games. I love that shit. Age of Empires, StarCraft, Warhammer, Dawn of War, Age of Mythology, Company, A Hero, any of this shit. Any of the fucking strategy games, I've played them. Battle for Middle-earth. I love that. It's great. So, I've always liked it. I've always liked strategy. You know, I might not think too much these days, but, like, I like the idea of thinking. Rise and Fall? No. Some of the... SAR? No, I don't know what those are, though. You know what's crazy? Tyler 1 recently had the Warcraft tournament, and I should have just asked to be invited. Like, the only other person who plays RTS games who is a main League streamer is Pinkward, and he was in there. And Pinkward plays Total War. But I fucking play strategy games. Put me in there, dude. What the fuck? I would literally just play Alliance and spam Dwarf units. Like, the Mortar team... They forfeit? The fucking, the Riflemen. I'd have to play Alliance. Like, what are the races in, Warcraft 3? Is it... The Gyrocopter's one of them? Yeah. It was, Undead... What are the races in that game? There's like 3 of them, right? Oh, the elves as well. I forgot about the elves. As is everyone. They should always forget about elves, because they're disgusting.